Hello friends, on today's video I'm going to show you step by step on how to make soft, layered, delicious chapatis.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden.
Hello friends, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, my name is Yusta Mora and welcome to my YouTube channel. Kindly consider subscribing down below and also liking this video. So onto the ingredients, I have flour, I have salt. Also you can use just salt and sugar, but for me I just prefer using salt, and that's it, and that's fine with me. I have oil. I have this cup of which I use to measure my flour and water. I have a clean piece of cloth and also cling film. If you don't have this cling film or this piece of cloth, you can just use something to cover your dough with, and somewhere to mix my ingredients, and a cup of warm water. I normally use lukewarm water, or just basically water that you can actually use to knead your dough, but not cold water. So basically those are my ingredients. Let's start the next process. So on my bowl I have 3 cups of flour, which I measured using that cup that I had showed you earlier, and then I just put a little bit of salt. You can use as much as you love or as little as you like. I normally use 3/4 tablespoon to 1 tablespoon of salt, and I proceed to mix in everything, and I start adding oil. One thing that I will recommend you do is just put oil before you start adding water. This process is actually easy, and it's just basically easy for you, because if you start putting water before you put oil, it's just something else. You all know water and oil don't mix, so the best way is to start with oil, and you mixing everything else, it will be easy. So as you can see, I'm trying to rub like the oil onto the flour, and this process actually I was taught by my cousin, so shout out to you, cousin. Like, thank you so much for showing me this process. So when I feel like the consistency that I want, and you just want it to be like not that smooth but a little bit of lump, I started adding water, and then I proceeded to kneading my dough. This process is one of the point that I don't actually like. I don't like this process because it's tiring. Actually, it's tiring. And let me remind you, kindly don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this, and also liking this video. So if you also want, you can just put your dough onto a surface and start kneading, because actually it's much easier this way, but for me I prefer to just knead it on the container, the bowl. But for the purpose of these videos I've just shown you, so make sure your surfaces are clean, and yeah, you just knead it until you feel like all the ingredients are well mixed and all that. So the next process, when I felt like my dough is well kneaded, because you can actually take like 10 minutes, even 20, even however like long you want, the better. Anyway, I find it the better, the longer you knead, the better for you. So when I was actually done kneading my dough, I just take the bowl that I actually was using and apply a little bit of oil onto the sides, and apply a little bit of oil on the side, and just place my dough there and cover it also with a little bit of oil, not that much, and take my cling film to cover it up. You can use also something else like the packaging for the chapati, and cover it and let it sit. Few minutes later, this is how my dough is looking like, and I knead it a little bit. And this, when I'm just putting it aside, I'm not putting it in a freezer, my fridge or microwave or anything. I just place it aside, and I start cutting it into small pieces. Normally this quantity, I normally get like 10 to 11 chapatis depending on the size. I try as much as possible to cut a little, like, to small pieces, because I don't have a big pan. But yeah, anyway guys, as you can see, that small dough, I've placed it on the side. I'm going to show you where I'm going to be using it later on in the video, so watch till the end. Anyway, the process at this point is just dust your countertop, and then just start, like, spreading your dough and apply oil. And this is the point where you just start putting like creating those layers. This is the point where you create those layers, and I find this method to be easy and stress-free. And as you can see, this is how my dough is looking like. And also this is the same process that I was shown by my cousin. So shout out to you, cousin, like shout out to you. Anyway, the same process. You just take the dough that you had placed aside, and then you just roll it, apply oil, cut it, fold it, just basically that. And as you can see, like my dough, I have covered it with cling film, and the one that I'm actually working on, I have covered it with a piece of cloth. So make sure you just cover your dough, because you don't want your dough to dry, because if it dries, it's going to give you bad chapatis. But anyway, the process is as simple as this. Just dust your surface, roll your dough. I know this looks like it's easy. This actually, it's not that easy. And also this is the point, you don't have to worry about the shape or anything of your chapatis, because this point doesn't matter. So after some few minutes, I was done. So I just take the first the first dough that I had made, and this is the one that I'm going to start by cooking. So I just start off my surface and then start like creating my shape. And this is the point where like your shape actually matters, because you want to have a nice circle, or like kind of a circle, and not a map of Africa or something like that. So once like I get to the desired shape and like thickness that I like, I just put it on my pan. And as you can see, I'm using the non-stick pan, so you don't have any excuse not to cook chapatis. You have a tutorial for you to follow, and now you don't need like the nice what do you call it, pan. So as you can see, my chapatis are forming those bubbles, and those are the layers that I'm going to show later on. And these are the actual layers that we created when I was actually showing you how to fold and all that stuff. So at this point, I actually made like bigger chapatis. Like you can see, my pan is not that big, but all in all, my chapatis turned out so well. So you don't have to have an excuse. So this is the process where I dry my chapatis, and then later on I'm going to be applying oil once I'm done drying all my chapatis. So a few minutes later, I started drying all my chapatis, and as you can see, I'm using the dough that I had set aside to just, you know, roll my chapatis, because this process can burn your hands, your fingerprints. So be careful, by the way, be careful when you're cooking chapatis. So basically, this is the process. I do all like applying all the oil onto each and every chapati. And is to make chapatis, actually you just need patience. Actually, chapati is patience. Once I was done, this is my final result. This is how my chapati turned out. I really love the outcome. You can see the layers that we actually created, and also you can see like I was trying to actually show you the layers. Anyway, this chapati turned out well. And yeah, by the way guys, I like actually taking my chapatis with tea, but on this day I decided to have my chapatis with a little bit of beans and avocado. Look at how well like my chapatis are looking like. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye bye guys, see you on the next one. Love you all.